the manger. And so they went with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the child lying in the manger. And when they saw this, they made known what had been told them about this child. And all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds told them. But Mary treasured all these words and pondered them in her heart. I have seen many births working as a stable hand. Sheep, donkeys, cows. Some are fascinating. They come easy to some hard to others. You might need to help them. But what's fascinating is after it's done, mother and calf are tired. But that mother always takes that calf and wipes off the afterbirth with her tongue. And then that calf, wobbly as it is, gets up and tries to walk around and follow the mother where it goes, staying close by. I've seen many births, but the one long ago is the one that I will remember the most. Oh, the inn was full that night. There was nothing off my nose. I didn't really care if it was full or not, as long as they didn't want me to help out. I was in the stable. That was my job, caring for the animals. And boy, did we have a lot of animals. We had our own animals and all the animals of the guests. It was full. And then we had these families, you see, who didn't have a place to stay. And so they asked if they could stay in the stables. I said, sure, but don't get in my way. Don't bother me. I got plenty of work to do. See, the animals were brawling and whimpering, and I was trying to muck out those stables as fast as I could and find fresh hay and tend to those more skittish animals that were whimpering. It was a cold night. Then all of a sudden, this man comes up, interrupts everything I'm doing, says to me, my wife's about to give birth. You have something that we could use to wrap the baby in? Well, it was an interruption. I was busy. Couldn't he see I was busy? I wanted to tell him to go find his own something to wrap the baby in. But there was something about him. There was a light that came in. A light that shone in on him. It was a strange light. And I looked at his face like I never looked at a face before. I saw the wrinkles around his mouth. And I saw the jaw lines of his jaw where the beard was folding in and out like a breeze caressing in a grain field. And then I saw the beads of sweat on his upper lip, especially in that little crevice there. Jake, who works inside in the kitchen, he's a little mad. But Jake says that little crevice is where God seals your lips. It's the fingertip of God. So you can't tell where you've been before you entered this world. All the places you've been before you've entered this world. Anyway, I looked at this man's face. Maybe it was for a minute. Maybe it was for a lifetime. But then it was his eyes. His eyes. They were sad, yet strong everything and everyone. Like they held wonderful, awful secrets. And the light in his eyes were like the light of the rising sun over peaks and valleys. And the best way I can describe it is there was love. There was love. Love in those eyes. Well, I couldn't help but help him. So I got down a blanket, a worn blanket. It was the blanket my dog had used to sleep in. It was clean because my dog had recently died and I washed it after he died. Which got me thinking about life and death and birth and how it's all interconnected and what a mystery it is. I gave him my blanket. And then I followed him over to a corner where he and his wife were hunkered down. This birth wasn't an easy one. Don't know if it was the child or the mother who was fighting the most. But finally, after a loud groan, the baby came out. And then there was that pregnant pause, that silence, like you hear right before the storm or right after the storm. And even the animals thought there was something special. They all got quiet. They all got quiet. The woman helping the woman give birth wrapped the child in the blanket and gave it to her. And then this man, he was a big man. He had rough hands, but he gently placed one on her shoulder and one on the baby's head. So gentle. And then he looked into her eyes. There was something special about their looking into each other's eyes. I stared for a second or two, but then realized I was interfering. There's something that between two people that is so special that you know you shouldn't be there at times. So I stopped looking at them. And I looked at the baby. And you know what? The baby had his eyes. The baby had his eyes. They were sad, yet strong. A kind of light of a rising sun was beaming in them. And he looked right through you, like he had wonderful, awful secrets and knew who you were too. And there was love. Pure love. I'll remember that night as long as I live. Some people have said I've gone a little mad afterwards because I think of light and darkness and love a lot. I see how the light plays shadows on my walls and ceiling. And I hear the wind like I heard that night. Wind that keeps repeating itself to me. And in the wind, I hear this refrain. In the light, I hear these words. Glory to God in the highest. And on earth, peace. 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 And so that night wasn't as quiet as we think it was. Mary probably screamed, Jesus probably cried. But we gather and we sing every year, Silent Night, Holy Night. Because it is the night we hold as sacred. It is the night when peace and love and hope came down. That is the night when we look into the eyes of a baby and we see peace. I invite you to, if you can, form a circle around the sanctuary. We're going to do this while the lights are on. If you can't make a circle, if you have